I would say the verdict is pretty clear. It sounds like we need a factory farm moratorium, right? But it also sounds like that's just the first step, because this is a pretty big problem. And I mean, I want to be real with y'all. I think the problem isn't that we don't know what the solution is. The problem is a problem of power. There are 63% of Iowans that would support a moratorium on factory farms, but they're not all organized, and they certainly don't have the funds that Big Ag has pumped into changing opinion on this issue. So what we need to do is build some power. As Dr. Ticky said, you know, there's 27 organizations in IARA. We need to grow this coalition, and we also need to grow every single one of our organizations. So I wanted to bring up a few fellow leaders from the Iowa Alliance for Responsible Agriculture up to talk about some ways to make an impact. Caitlin, would you like to come up? And Tommy and Diane, please join me up here as well.
Hello, everybody. So what can we do about it? There's several different things that we can do in preparation for a moratorium. One of them is to contact your legislators. So as Senator Claire Chelsea had mentioned, you know, one person can only know so much, but collectively our knowledge together is powerful. And that's why our legislators need to hear from not just one of us, but all of us together. All of the different aspects of this dire need being flooded in by email, by phone, giving them actual paper letters. Contact your legislators and let them know that we need a moratorium, that Iowa is not a sacrifice zone. From each and every one of us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, we need to get the word out to our legislators. From here, I'll pass it off to Tommy to tell us what else we can do.
Okay, I know another thing that we can do to keep building power here. We're all in this room, and so we are now all qualified authors of letters to the editor and op-eds to go in Iowa's newspapers. Because as we know, as we just heard, 63% of Iowans support a factory farm moratorium. But 63% of Iowans do not know about what's going on in this room right now and about the power that we have together. And so in those LTEs, share the experiences that you have in these meetings. Share the knowledge that we're gaining and tell people to get involved. Your voice means a lot, and you can get your name in the paper, which is great. I'll pass it off to Diane.
Visuals are a good reminder and also a way to educate. Along the way, 100 Grannies have worked with Food and Water Watch and IARA, and we have some signs in the back there that the more signs and reminders that people see, the more questions they'll ask, or keep it in the backs of their minds of what should we be doing. So today, if you know some good places to put those signs and people that you know, the more signs we get out, the better. And that's another step we can do.
Thank you, Diane. And lastly, as I was alluding to, if you are not currently an active member of an organization, join one. There are so many folks here who are activists in their communities, but there's a lot of folks who haven't, you know, who don't go out and canvass, who don't make calls, and that's okay. We're all busy people, but this is a dire situation, and we need every person, every boot on the ground to make an impact and to really raise hell about this. So I encourage you to find an IARA steering committee member or an IARA activist. If you're an IARA activist, raise your hand. Hey, find one of those people, go talk to them if you want to get involved, and don't worry, we'll be reaching out after the event with some next steps. So with that, I think we should maybe call this session to a close. And I realize there's a gavel on the table that has not yet been pounded. So Dr. Secchi, will you do the orders? We call this clearing to a close. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, everyone.